Level -4. Survival difficulty. Class undetermined. Mysterious properties. Unknown information. Undocumented entities. Level -4 is the fifth negative level of the Backrooms. Description. Level -4 appears to be a large forest with little to no signs of human inhabitants or animal life of any kind. The forest is pitch black at all times and does not seem to have a regular day-night cycle if any. Interestingly, arrivals at this level always enter at the same location. The building in question is a large burned-out barn of some sort, and other than this barn no other human-made structure has been found. Due to the nature of entering level -4, attempts to map out the level and establish outposts have been made several times. However, as of the attempts of MEG Outpost Red Forest, the MEG has decided to cancel any operations within level -4 aside from trips to level -5. There have been no determinate guesses as to the size of level -4, nor where its endpoint is, as it is not easily navigated past the entrance point. Other than it's an entrance, there are no landmarks to easily mark progress. Additionally, compasses, while functional, are less reliable than normal and malfunction easily. Bases, outposts, and communities. The MEG has attempted to inhabit level -4 various times due to its easy-to-access and seemingly non-hostile nature. Several joint operations with the followers of Jerry were also made to create an outpost in the hopes of easing tension. However, every attempt at communities and outposts has failed. Found below is a list of failed operations and how they failed. Outpost Attempt 1 Outpost Charity. Outpost Charity was founded a year after the discovery of level -4 with the goal of helping survivors who entered level -4 and required assistance. The outpost was created by 5 volunteers and made a mile southwest from the barn entrance. The volunteers were given 2 months' worth of supplies that were meant to be distributed equally. However, when the second supply came, no volunteers returned to the barn to pick up supplies. The corpses of all 5 members were found holding hands in a circle around the rations crate, having willingly chosen to starve themselves instead of eating the provided rations. They died without a struggle after 4 to 5 days of malnutrition. The reasoning behind their decision has yet to be determined. Outpost Attempt 2, Outpost Burns. Outpost burns were made 4 months after the death of the outpost charity volunteers with the same goal, however with additional measured precautions made by the volunteers to avoid death. The outpost was staffed with 3 volunteers, and was meant to be given supplies monthly and provided with a camera to document events. The volunteers stayed for 3 months without issue until, during the 4th supply drop, all 3 volunteers had vanished from camp. The camera was not found, however, a photo it had taken was still in the campgrounds. On the back of the photo the words "Going north don't follow" were written in shaky handwriting. The exact location at which the photograph was taken and the current whereabouts of the volunteers have yet to be determined, despite extensive searches. Outpost Attempt 3, Outpost Bluebird. Outpost Bluebird was an outpost created by the followers of Jerry in the previous location of Outpost Charity with the permission of MEG officials. The outpost was staffed by 4 priests until they were all found dead in various areas outside of the outpost. It seems that a fire was accidentally started inside of the outpost's camp, which caused a panic in the group, wherein all members scrambled to leave the camp and escape the fire. It's theorized that the priests' rations and supplies were destroyed in said fire, causing them to slowly starve to death in the woods. Outpost Attempt 4, Outpost Red Forest. Outpost Red Forest was founded by 13 people in a joint operation between the MEG and the followers of Jerry with the goal of eventually creating an outpost within level -4. It was created at the barn entrance with the idea being to encourage newcomers of level -4 to join. However, after 8 months the outpost had collapsed. Of the 13 people in the Red Forest, 3 survived and were recovered, albeit with severe mental damage. The other 10 had been killed as a group by an unknown force that the survivors called the Grey One. Their corpses were once again holding hands in a circle within the barn. However, the eyes of all the victims were missing. Preface: the following is an interview with volunteer Alan Turner, who delivered food supplies to various outposts in level -4. Interviewer: Researchus Bierre. Interviewee: Volunteer Alan Turner.
Hello Mr. Turner, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Doc.
So, you spent a lot of time in level -4, correct?
Course. I delivered the shipments to outposts usually.
Tell me about your experience with the outposts.
I delivered to all 4 outposts at one point. Every one of them had the same experience, though.
Elaborate.
These wanderers, they were always scared out their fucking minds. Some of the newer ones, the arrivals might have been a little bit more chipper, but something about that place just sucked the confidence out of them. And I don't really know why. I mean, think about it. I'm the guy who has to trudge through these dark-ass woods for hours on end to deliver these people their fucking food, and you never heard me complaining about it. Nah, I did my job, and I wasn't scared for a second.
Do you have any guesses as to why Morel was so low?
I asked one of them why he always looked like that, terrified out of his fucking brain. He just looked at me and said, "Because it wants us to be here." I never asked him to elaborate.
Entrances and exits. Entrances. Level -4 can be randomly entered through various doors in level -1, however the door back to level -1 will disappear upon entry. As previously stated, all entrances lead to the barn. Exits. It is possible to exit level -4 by wandering miles into its woods, wherein there is a random chance you may no clip either back to level -1 or to level -5. Footnotes. 1. See communities and outposts for elaboration. 2. These doors are usually marked with a small drawing of a tree of some kind.